You don't get to be under a federal indictment with a very strict bond bail condition that says you cannot threaten or intimidate a witness or victim directly or indirectly, and you know that I am that person's close friend, and you are intimidating and threatening me to get to that person. We were friends, and I haven't talked to her in months, and I miss her, and I still think she's a wonderful person, and I would never want to hurt her, and I wish that he would just leave her alone. I think she's in an impossible position. I'm just hurt because I care about her.
It seems that the closer my parents get to their trial date, there are some things that are swirling around that are just being reported that are very untrue. Never have I ever been a witness for the government, been asked by the government to be a witness, been on a witness protection list, spoken to the FBI about being a witness ever. And so I think I'm gonna have to change my phone number because there's just some shit that's going on.
Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Wildflower Tea, and today we are going to be recapping the latest filings and social media craze circulated around the Todd Chrisley lawsuit against Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy. First, I just want to say this video is going to be much longer than my regular content because, to be quite honest with you guys, there is a lot to unpack here and even more happening as we speak. So I'm going to try to give you guys the most detailed timeline, but in a timely manner. If you would please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you want to stay in the loop with this lawsuit, please consider subscribing to the channel and tapping the bell before you go. Like I said before, I'm only recapping these documents. I will not be breaking them down in full detail because one, I'm not an attorney, and two, there's a lot to unpack here. So we would literally be here forever. But if you do want to see these broken down bit by bit, there are incredible YouTube attorneys that are covering this lawsuit, and they will be linked in the description below. To kick this off, last week Katie Joy and her attorneys did file this letter to the courts, basically asking them to reschedule the motion to dismiss until after Todd Chrisley's big court day against the government. The main reason Katie Joy wanted to reschedule the motion to dismiss was because she believed Lindsie Chrisley was going to be a witness in that case. In the second to last paragraph of this letter, it says, while the case regards charges of tax evasion, a number of other issues regarding the witnesses, including Mr. Chrisley's daughter, Lindsie, and her interactions with various tax authorities regarding her father. Because witness testimony in the federal courts and jury's findings of facts in the criminal case may bear on issues relevant to the proceeding, Ms. Polson respectfully requests this court's leave to reschedule the hearing on her motion to dismiss until after the conclusion of the trial in the criminal case. Now, as you heard in the introduction of this video, Lindsie Chrisley has already debunked the fact that she is not a witness, nor was she supposed to ever be a witness in that case. So that pretty much makes this whole letter to the court super irrelevant in my opinion. But nonetheless, Todd Chrisley still fired back with a responding argument. In Todd Chrisley's response, they state defendants Katie Joy request that the court delay their hearing on their motion to dismiss pending the conclusion of the upcoming trial in United States versus Chrisley, as defendants apparently concede that that case concerns subject matters unrelated to this litigation. While defendants contend that tangible issues may be addressed during the trial that may bear issues relevant to this proceeding, defendants neither explain nor support that assertion. It is unclear how the trial could impact defendants' motion to dismiss. As detailed in plaintiff's opposition, the arguments raised in defendants' motion fail as a matter of law, regardless of what may transpire at the upcoming trial. Moreover, the trial date in the above case was set months before defendants filed their motion to dismiss, and defendants were plenty aware of it. Nothing has changed since then except that plaintiffs started to pursue discovery. This recent effort to delay the upcoming hearing, which defendants Katie Joy initially sought to hold at the earliest possible opportunity, raises concerns that defendants will continue to cite their unresolved motion as a justification for their refusal to honor their discovery obligations. I just gotta say what I think majority of us are probably thinking. Katie Joy has definitely underestimated Todd Chrisley and his attorneys. He's not playing around with her. He's like, you know what, girl, we're not playing your games. We're not dragging this bullshit out. We're doing this.
Oh, no, he didn't.
This brings us to Todd Chrisley's motion to compel discovery. In this filing, Todd Chrisley and his legal team are attempting to prove that Katie Joy has not taken this lawsuit seriously. They state that Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball, has refused to respond to their claims, as well as her refusal to produce documents in a timely manner. Because of that, the plaintiff is requesting that the court schedule an informal telephone conference at its earliest convenience and set a briefing schedule to resolve the discovery issues. As you can see, they do list what the discovery issues are in detail. If you guys want to read these, feel free to stop and screenshot or pause to read. And then last but most definitely not least is Todd Chrisley's argument or opposition to Katie Joy and her legal team's request for a motion to dismiss. And this one is hefty, you guys. There's a lot of detail in this filing to try and combat what Todd Chrisley and his legal team are stating to be fact. It reads, defendant Catherine Polson, aka Without a Crystal Ball, have monetized a years-long campaign of lies directed at plaintiff Michael Todd Chrisley. In particular, they have repeatedly accused Mr. Chrisley of attempting to extort his own daughter by threatening to release a quote-unquote tape featuring her and a man other than her then husband if she would not lie to criminal investigators, and attempting to extort Ms. Polson herself. Defendants have used these salacious falsehoods to drive traffic to their social media outlets, broadcasting them to an audience of thousands in order to reap the resulting ad revenue. Mr. Chrisley now seeks through this lawsuit to hold Ms. Polson, Without a Crystal Ball, accountable. This particular filing goes into great detail on the many things that Katie Joy has allegedly said and done that the Chrisley family claims is defamation and has affected their family in a negative way. The filing continues. Defendants have responded with a motion to dismiss that attempts to rewrite not just the defamatory statements at issue, but also controlling law. Their motion raises a series of issues typically left to the jury to decide, and fails to cite even a single case involving defamation that was resolved on a motion to dismiss. Defendant first contend that the fair and accurate reporting privilege shields Ms. Polson's falsehoods, but that privilege does not apply because, among other things, none of Ms. Polson's defamatory statements report on or summarize governmental proceedings or public records. Ms. Polson further argues that Mr. Chrisley must, at the pleading stage, come forward with quote-unquote evidence proving that her alleged defamatory statements are known lies. Not so. Mr. Chrisley needs only to plead, as he does, that Ms. Polson knew her statements to be false or that she acted recklessly in making them. Ms. Polson also contends that isolated phrases from her social media posts accusing Mr. Chrisley of extorting her are literally true. The fact that individual phrases are true does not relieve Ms. Polson of liability when, in context, they plainly accuse Mr. Chrisley of criminal activity. Accordingly, defendant's motion to dismiss should be denied. At the time of making this video, these are the latest filings at hand within this lawsuit. And now that we have recapped the meat and potatoes of the legal issues, it's time to talk about what's been going on social media, because you guys, it's a lot. As some of you may be aware, last week, Lindsie Chrisley, Katie Joy's quote-unquote close friend, broke her silence about this whole situation. And y'all, she popped off. In a very detailed Instagram post, Lindsie states, "It has been said that courage is the most important of all the virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Tonight, I'm showing up and allowing myself to be seen. Reality TV, media storms, podcasts, family feuds, divorce, legal battles, all things that I have navigated over the last few years. I've kept quiet for the most part and tried to allow the storms to pass. As I've tried to move forward in my life, I'm constantly hit with Google alerts, living in fear, anxious and tired. Chrisley knows best sex tape. Chrisley knows best the family drama brewing. Chrisley sisters battle of the bikinis. People seem to forget that we are human too. Things aren't always as they seem and as they are reported. Last week, the tape was being discussed yet again by a YouTuber that I have repeatedly asked, to stop reporting on it. There's facts that surround this that no one publicly knows, and for anyone to continue to report on something without the information is reckless and a threat to my mental and emotional health. What people do not know is that I have had knowledge of the alleged tapes since 2017. Police reports were filed in 2017 and 2019. I currently am sitting on extensive amounts of knowledge regarding this entire situation, and I do plan to share more of that information in the coming months. What I'm going to share today is that the information that is publicly known is not factual. The involvement that I have been led to believe that my dad and brother had looks very different than what is reported. Misleading information is very dangerous, and this has been a huge lesson. I look forward to shedding more light on this situation in the coming months. In the meantime, I will be praying for the young woman who launched this scandal that has affected our entire family. What is done in the dark will eventually come to light. After Lindsie made this Instagram post, Todd Chrisley also addressed it in his most recent Chrisley Confession podcast. I'm not going to play a huge portion of this podcast, but if you want to see the full thing, as always, you can find the links to everything in the description below.
Going on the defense with this trash bag out in Minnesota, Katie Joy, who seems to think that, me going to trial is going to make my lawsuit go away with her, which is just how ignorant she is. She's got so many more lawsuits coming her way that I just laugh about it, because I'm excited about 2 that are heading her way within the next 10 to 15 days. And then this Katie Joy wants to talk about that her team. You don't have a team. You have one person who is an ass clown. That's what you have. And she wants to say that she has insurance that's going to take care of this. Anyone knows that's not ignorant that insurance companies do not pay for intentional tort.
Right.
And she keeps claiming that it doesn't matter. She can go out here and slander and defame and lie on people and all this shit, and that her insurance company is gonna pay for it if she's found liable. That ain't the way it works.
Right.
Insurance is if you do something unknowingly that harms someone else.
Right.
This woman is all across the board, and I truly do believe that there's a mental illness there. I think there's something mental with this woman. Because she can't even keep up with the lies that she tells. At any rate, she just posts all this cryptic shit that people send me on Instagram, and they laugh at her. And when you're being laughed at, that's insulting, or you should be insulted by that. But for some reason, this bizarre woman takes pride in being laughed at. I mean, people laugh at her appearance. People laugh at what she's wearing. People laugh at the lies that she tells because she can't keep up with them. People make fun of her when it comes to things like that. And she just acts like it's flattery. She acts like that everything's good. It appears as if Lindsie's planning on in the next couple of months dropping all the details regarding whatever she has. And it would appear as if she is refuting Katie Joy's claim that she has made repeatedly that she and Lindsie are friends. That Lindsie has stated, I have told this YouTuber to not mention my name. And here she is drudging it up again. So I look forward to these other lawsuits hitting that are going to certainly prove what my lawsuit claims all along. I just don't know that Lindsie owes an explanation to the world about anything that she does or that she did or that has occurred, because, people that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, and that's all of us.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
And I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. The world makes mistakes daily. Mm-hmm. Just because your mistake has not been broadcast to the world doesn't make it any less than the ones who have.
Right.
When it comes to Katie Joy, she is constantly inserting her foot in her mouth and making claims that are not true. And in these most recent filings, she did that yet again when she stated that Lindsie Chrisley was a witness, not a potential witness, in the criminal case against the Chrisleys. And let me just add, this isn't the first time that Katie Joy has said that. She has has said this in Instagram lives and posts literally so many times, but to do so in a filing to the courts is on another level. Because of that, Lindsie did take to her Instagram story to just further alliterate that she has never been nor was considered to be a witness for the criminal case against her parents.
So here we are. Wanted to hop on here really quick to just address a couple of things, because it seems that the closer my parents get to their trial date, there are some things that are swirling around that are just being reported that are very untrue. Never have I ever been a witness for the government, been asked by the government to be a witness, been on a witness protection list, spoken to the FBI about being a witness ever. And so I think I'm going to have to change my phone number, because there's just some shit that's going on.
If you ask me, Lindsie has been extremely respectful and professional. She has not spoke about any of the claims Katie Joy has put out on her. In fact, from what I see, she has literally never even mentioned Katie Joy's name in any way. Even when it comes to all this legal stuff between her parents and Katie Joy, she's always been very careful not to discuss Katie. But Katie has never returned the favor. She goes out of her way to tell everyone how close her and Lindsie are, how they talk all the time. Lindsie has told her all this stuff about the Chrisley family. Hypothetically, let's just say at one point they were friends, which I really don't think Lindsie ever considered Katie Joy to be a quote-unquote close friend, just saying. But let's say that they were close friends. I'm sorry, if someone I considered to be a friend and told things to in private went public and aired all of my dirty laundry, yeah, I don't think we would be friends for long. In my personal opinion, it only further alliterates how shady Katie is, and the fact that she is only out for herself and what she thinks will make her money. And speaking of Katie, instead of apologizing about any of this or admitting to her wrongdoings, she decided to double down and prove that she is not a liar. She posted this photo of the potential witness and or victims of the criminal case, and as you can see, a big red arrow is pointing towards Lindsie Chrisley's name. The key word here is potential. That doesn't mean that she is a witness, Katie. Now, the ironic and humorous part of this is in this screenshot, Katie Joy still puts Chrisley's witness list. Is she blind, y'all? I don't know, but nonetheless, she obviously does not see the issue in the things that she is putting out as fact. Even in her court filings, y'all. In the description of this post, she put information out about the criminal case. And she didn't do this for any other reason but to try to prove that she is not a liar. She ended the post saying, "I have no reason to lie about anything, including being told by the feds that Lindsie was a potential witness." Once again, Katie, keyword is potential. For reference, Chrisley versus Waits provides a lot of information for those interested in sifting through depositions. Katie Joy also spent quite a bit of time over this past holiday weekend posting about how she felt betrayed and used and heartbroken. And although no, she did not use any personal names in these posts, at the same time with everything going on, it's pretty clear that she's talking about Lindsie. On top of the cryptic post she made, she did also do an IG Live that was noticeably emotional. I can't help but to question though, is this an authentic, genuine emotion, or is she just trying to emotionally manipulate her audience? Which in my opinion is a pattern of hers at this point. We're gonna watch a piece of the live, that way you guys can see for yourself, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments below.
A lot of reality stars, a lot of celebrities want to control a narrative. And I'm not playing narratives. I'm just reporting on what I find. And so I can only report based on the documents, the public records, the interviews. I can't ignore those. And just because it doesn't match the reality doesn't make me the bad guy. I would be more concerned if I was the person that was consuming that was being lied to. Every person that's on a platform that's lying to you is profiting off of that. And that's disingenuous. And the one thing that these people will come to me with is they'll say that you're the liar, Katie. No, I'm not a liar. Do I sometimes make mistakes and have to correct stories? Yes, happens all the time in this world, especially in the world of fast news. Getting sued does not mean that you've done anything wrong. It can, but honestly, in the world of reporting, more often than not, getting sued means someone wants you to shut up. And they want to use your money. They want to get you to have to spend money, have to waste time so that you stop talking about them. Literally, in the world of the defamation world, nobody wins these cases. It's next to impossible to prove unless you're blatantly lying. I know that Tasha K lost one against Cardi B, but she blatantly lied. If you're flat out falsifying stories, yes, you should be sued. But if you are reporting based on what's out in the public, it's hard to prove defamation because you're also allowed to have an opinion in the United States called free speech. There was filings that were done this week, and he's saying that we're not cooperating with his discovery. The problem is that all of his discovery is about his daughter. And I have been for months trying to protect her. So yes, I was hurt when I saw her post and she referred to me as that YouTuber. And I haven't talked to her in months, and I miss her, and I still think she's a wonderful person, and I would never want to hurt her. I think she's in an impossible position. I'm just hurt because I care about her. And that means that if somebody's using their platform or the lawyers to try to get evidence against someone that could be a witness in your case, I'm not going to just give it up. It's not even relevant. The stuff that's being asked for is not relevant. And first of all, he's filing these baseless things in this lawsuit. The lawsuit has no standing, right? There's no claims here, nothing. We filed a motion to dismiss, and then as soon as we filed the motion to dismiss, he sends us a letter for discovery, and it's all about her. Why is he so interested in discovery about his daughter? It doesn't make sense. I mean, he wants all of our communication. Isn't that weird?
I don't think it's weird at all because unfortunately, Katie's the one that's made this personally about Lindsie. Almost every single time that she has discussed the Chrisley family, she's went out of her way to discuss in detail how it's affecting Lindsie, defending Lindsie, Lindsie this, Lindsie that. And to this day, you're still doing it, which is why Lindsie is now speaking out for herself. Katie has put Lindsie in a very impossible position to where now she has no choice because she's been backed in a corner to speak out and say exactly how she feels about the situation. And for Katie to not understand where that anger towards her is coming from is beyond me.
And I'm sorry that this is what's going on in her life. And I'm sad that I was called that YouTuber. I was told not to talk about her, but I can't control the situation that I'm in. The entire lawsuit is about her. So how do you avoid it?
Shortly after Katie's live, Lindsie posted this on social media saying, "I hope everyone is having a blessed weekend with their families and loved ones. My phone and direct messages have blown up about posts regarding my parents' upcoming federal trial. I'm going to reiterate, I have never been contacted by the federal government or any federal agent asking me to be a witness for the government or informing me that I am a witness in this case. I'm highly alarmed that my image is being used, attaching it to court documents, referencing me. A friend would never have me blocked from seeing things that they are reporting on me. put me in a compromising position, or allude without speaking to me that I am in danger of harm's way. I'm in no way a source of information for her or any other outlet for that matter. At this point, I am alarmed, concerned for my own safety and mental well-being, and I will be discussing with my attorney any further steps that we can and will take next week. Anyone reporting on this, please be aware my attorneys are watching. I will no longer tolerate attacks to my mental and emotional health. Easter is the most celebrated season of Christianity, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I plan to completely disconnect tomorrow and love on my son. Please, at the very least, give me and my family a day's rest. It is very clear to me by Lindsie's post that she is extremely hurt over what Katie Joy is doing and has been doing for months. And as much as Katie Joy says that she doesn't want to hurt her, she doesn't want to make matters worse for her, that's all she has done. And in true Katie fashion, she had to get the last word in. So I get that there's a lot of questions about me. My page is not about me. I'm here to report. So while I understand people are inquisitive, I'm finding all the questions overwhelming and detrimental to my mental health. I wish all people the best in their endeavors. I'm not the type to hold grudges. Is this a report on reality TV, true crime, reality TV crime, cults, and other topics? That's what I've done for years. This drama here doesn't serve me well. It doesn't make my followers happy. I won't be answering questions about lawsuits. I have lawyers for all of that. You know, you guys, for someone who doesn't make her content about her, she does an awful lot of live streams discussing her lawsuits, discussing her opinions on certain people, and she does talk about herself quite a bit. She continues by saying, "Just know I stand by what I support, and I support people even when they don't support me. There's work to do, lots of it. I have blocked some accounts to reduce drama. I'm taking a break from lives on Instagram for a minute to take care of myself. Honestly, it's about time. Regular content will always be uploaded on YouTube. My channel is a drama-free zone." You guys, I can't even read this with a straight face. I really can't. I'm not even trying to be nasty and saying any of this either. It's just, if you've been around for a moment and you have seen Katie Joy's behaviors, you know this is a tactic she uses. She is losing subscribers due to all of this drama that she has created. So this is her way of trying to do damage control. She's closing everything off. She's going to be done with the live. She's going to stick to her content. It's good to refocus and get back to where you need to be and focus on what matters. But when you're the one that's constantly creating the drama, that's an issue. Y'all, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on this video. I know it's a lot of information, but I love hearing what you have to say. Also, if you learned anything or enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, subscribing before you go, and tapping the bell for post notifications. That way you're notified every single time I upload. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I appreciate every single one of you to the moon and stars, and until the next one, mwah. Bye guys!